Good morning everyone. Today I will tell about the blood topic. So blood is the connective tissue. Blood is which type of tissue? Connective tissue. So connective tissue means it transported all type of components such as proteins, amino acids and different type of useful materials or useful substances as well as waste substance. That means excess amount of sodium or chloride and amino acids, so bicarbonates, so all type of gases. So these all transported by the blood. So that is the connective tissue. So the special connective tissue. Now here is, if you observe blood, there is a different type of components such as plasma is there, plasma, and formed elements is there. Formed elements is there. So that means here, if you observe plasma, 55% of plasma present inside the blood, formed elements remaining 45% present inside the blood. So if you observe, there is a plasma, which type of structure plasma? That is a viscous fluid structure. Viscous fluid structure. Then this plasma is straw color. So this plasma is straw colored and viscous fluid. Viscous fluid is there. Viscous fluid is there. So this plasma, it has different type of proteins is there such as fibrinogen, prothrombin and albumin and globulin. Globulin. So albumins, globulins and fibrinogen. So fibrinogen. So these are proteins present inside the plasma. So albumins especially, it's maintain our osmotic body balance. It's maintain our osmotic body balance. Then globulins, so it act as a defense mechanism. It act as a defense mechanism. Then fibrinogen, it acts as a blood clotting. It acts as a blood clotting. So these are present inside the plasma. So that means these albumins especially, it's maintain the osmotic body balance. Then globulins also, it act as a defense mechanism. Then fibrinogen, it acting as a clotting of the blood or coagulation of the blood. So fibrinogen and prothrombin also present inside the plasma. So these are the basic information about the plasma. Then here is in plasma 92%, 92% especially present in water. So remaining these proteins only 6 to 8% proteins. These are albumins, globulins and fibrinogen. So especially in human beings, our blood is in red in color. Our blood is in red in color. Why our blood is in red in color? That means there is a pigment is there. That pigment, hemoglobin pigment. So which pigment is there? Hemoglobin. So pigment is there. That is the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. So this pigment present inside our blood. So this is the pigment. So these pigment present inside the blood. So that's why our blood is red in color. So different type of organisms, it has different type of blood color. So that's why, suppose if you observe octopus, that is the hemocyanin is there. That means octopus blood is blue in color. Like snail also, it has blue color blood. That means hemocyanin is there. So if you observe cockroach blood is white in color. So white in color or colorless. So that's why that is hemolymph is there. Hemolymph is there. So these colors, especially red colors, based on inside the pigments, that color will be changed. So now I will tell about the remaining part, that is the formed elements. So generally formed elements means there is a three types of cells is there. So these three types of cells, one is red blood cells, that is the RBC. Next, white blood cells, that is the WBC. Next, another one also is there, next to thrombocytes. Thrombocytes or platelets or platelets. Platelets. So these are generally three types of cells. So RBC is especially red in color. So RBC is red in color. So red in color means here, so that's why that is known as, that means another name also RBC is erythrocytes. Erythrocytes or RBC. Erythrocytes or RBC or erythrocytes. Erythrocytes. So that is the erythrocytes. Next, these erythrocytes especially formed in the bone marrow. So they are formed in bone marrow. Bone marrow. Next one, these red blood cells lifespan is there. Though this lifespan of red blood cells 120 days only. So 120 days only. So then what will happen? These 120 days they are destroyed in spleen. So that's why that is the graveyard of the red blood cells. That is spleen. So spleen. So yeah, spleen only graveyard of the red blood cells. So in spleen only these red blood cells after 120 days they are destroyed inside the spleen. So that's why that is known as graveyard of the red blood cells. That is spleen. Then these red blood cells, especially they are inside also pigment is there. That is the hemoglobin is there. Then another one also is there, WBC. So here WBC, white blood cells. White blood cells another name also is there, leukocytes. White blood cells another name is leukocytes. So white blood cells another name leukocytes. There is a two types of cells is there. That is the granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes also again can be divided into three types. That is the neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. So granulocytes also divided into three types. That is the neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. Agranulocytes also can be divided into two types. That is the monocytes and lymphocytes. So generally these red blood cells are lack of the cell. That means 5 to 5.5 millions of bloods present millimeter cube. That means 5 to 5.5 millions of millions present inside present the red blood cells inside our blood. So there is a 6,000 to 8,000 white blood cells present per millimeter cube. Next, here also thrombocytes also they are 1 lakh, 1 to 1.5 lakh, 1 to 1.5 lakh. Thrombocytes also is there. So These WBC leukocytes is there. Another name WBC, another name known as leukocytes. Leukocytes are agranulocytes and granulocytes. Agranulocytes, neutrophils is there, basophils and eosinophils also is there. Next, again, agranulocytes, it can be divided into two types, that is the monocytes and lymphocytes. So, thrombocytes are blood platelets. Platelets. So, these thrombocytes and blood platelets, which is responsible for blood clotting. So, especially 5 to 6 minutes, it take generally 3 to 5 minutes only it's take for clotting of the blood if you got any injury. So that time it's secreted different type of proteins. So that is the fibrinogen and prothrombin. So these fibrinogen and prothrombin, they are presence of enzymes. They are acting one type of mesh type of network. Then only it form. It's automatically responsible for the coagulation of the blood. That is the thrombocytes or platelets. Okay.